let's look at scenario 3. Now, what they're getting at here is sometimes there is what's called joint ownership of property. That's where there are people, let's say there's 3 people, and they each own an interest in the property. So there's 3 people, let's say this is a section of 640 acres, and each person, there's 3 people, 1, 2, 3, each person owns a 33.33%. So, but for this first problem, we're not really concerned about that because it reads Andrew owns his land in 100% fee simple. Remember that we said that means they own the surface and the minerals in a 100-acre tract. So in a 100-acre tract. So he owns 100% and he's got 100 acres. Andrew grants a lease to Oil Co. and retains a 3/16 royalty. So the question here is, we're looking at the difference between gross acres and net acres. So gross acres is the total amount that is stated on the lease. And net acres is the total amount on the lease times the mineral owner's mineral interest. So it's gross acres times the mineral interest. So in this case, it would be their 3/16 times 1/3 would be their mineral interest. But in this particular case, we don't have to worry about that because oil company's net acres and gross acres are going to be the same. He owns 100% and he has 100 acres. So there's no division that's going to occur here. He owns 100% fee simple. Now in the next couple of problems, they'll change this to a different fraction. But to start off with, the Oil Co's net acres would be 100 acres. And his gross acres would be 100 acres. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right, 100 acres. And then the lease purchase report for Andrew's lease would probably state that Andrew owned a 100% mineral interest. So when we're talking about the lease purchase report, that is the document that the landman attaches to the lease. And that's what lets the lease and title analyst know how many acres to set this up for. So usually on the lease purchase report, it'll say what the mineral interest is of that owner. So in order to calculate the royalty, we're going to take that royalty times what their mineral interest is. But in this case, it's 100%. So the royalty is going to remain a full 3/16. And so the answers to this would be A for problem 3, would be A. For problem 4, it would be A. And for problem 5, it would be also A. So it looks like we're having all A answers here. Okay, so now let's look at the next one.